What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with this week's very unique episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we are now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows? Maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Excuse me. Only time will tell. But as I've said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, as I am readjusting my tripod here, I will be opening up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store. On the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set, much similar to what I pulled out of my Genesis Impact box that I opened up last year, which is this beautiful Beat Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely amazing as a collector's rare. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 85% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys have not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is basically this week's episode. But the question of the day is this: would you guys like to see Joe Hendry sign with WWE, or should he stay with TNA? Let me know down in the comments below. And that is exactly what we are going to be talking about for this week, is the idea of Joe Hendry signing with WWE and how WWE can benefit from having Joe Hendry on the roster. Now obviously we know that Joe Hendry had been signed with TNA for quite some time, and he's had a few appearances on NXT throughout literally throughout the entire summer. He's only had one or two matches on NXT. One of them was obviously the Battle Royal, and then of course the tag team match between him and Trick Williams against Shawn Spears and the NXT champion Ethan Page. And he did an appearance on commentary for NXT with Vic Joseph and Booker T. And now tomorrow night he plans to do a Joe Hendry concert, which honestly is going to be interesting to say the very least. But funny enough, Hendry had spoke on the podcast known as Talk Is Jericho. Shout outs to Chris Jericho. He he revealed that he still has a while left on his current TNA deal, but he added that anything is possible, and and he even also praised TNA management for how much they've supported him and how the company had helped Joe whenever he's tried to invest in himself. And it's weird because because his he even also competed on he even competed in the six pack challenge, or, excuse me, in the six pack elimination for the TNA World Title at Slammiversary, which is obviously one of TNA's like massive PLEs that they got. And funny and sadly, he actually he ended up losing because of some BS. I guess some BS. I don't know what the hell happened. I didn't trust me, guys. I want to watch TNA, but I don't think my cable provider has the channel. So unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it. But trust me, I haven't seen it in years, and that was back in the days when Paramount Network was first known as Spike. Yeah, so it's been that long. It's been that long. What's weird is that Joe Hendry had stated that he would be sticking around for the foreseeable future with NXT. So he basically admitted that he was going to be making several appearances on NXT, not just throughout the summer, but pretty much for the entire foreseeable future. And honestly, I think the idea of Joe Hendry being signed to WWE would be interesting. But what are the pros and cons of Joe Hendry signing with WWE? Well, there's actually a few things that can go right. For one, if they put him on the NXT roster, he'll go from the man we've seen in the past to I would say I would go on record to say that he would be the Adam Cole of NXT, a dominant champion, having incredible 6-star matches, which would be insane, and his run as NXT champion, if he did become champion, would be one that no one would ever forget. Another pro is that he could show up and not do a thing, and he would still be a megastar. No offense to LA Knight, who calls himself the megastar. So I think looking at it, the biggest con I think would probably have to be Hendry getting lost in the shuffle. And for those who are new to this channel and have just started watching WWE, basically the term, what it means, the term getting lost in the shuffle, it basically means that you're on the roster, but they don't have anything for you for the foreseeable future. It's the same thing with what they've been doing with guys like Omos, guys like Bobby Lashley, guys like MVP, and guys like Shinsuke Nakamura, which we found out that MVP's contract with WWE is going to expire, and apparently rumor has it he is not going to renew. Whereas opposed to Bobby Lashley, there's been a lot of chatter that he might just renew and end up staying with his crew B-Fab, and the Street Profits known as the Pride, which is possible. We'll have to wait and see. Omos, I mean, I think his big break, I think, was WrestleMania 39 last year in LA, here in my hometown of LA, where he lost to Brock Lesnar, and after that, his career just went downhill. So there's literally the only time you would ever see a guy like Omos or a guy like Bobby Lashley or a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura is at the live events or the house shows, as some fans like to call them. So that's pretty much it. And we also found out as well that Shinsuke Nakamura was in a triple threat match for the WWE title which involved him, AJ Styles, and of course Cody Rhodes over the weekend in Japan. So I don't know, but as far as like Joe Hendry goes, I mean that's like the worst. That's like the worst case scenario. It's like you get a string of victories going on, you lose a massive opportunity, lose a massive match, and then you're like, what do you do now? It's like you ask yourself, where do I go from here? That right there, I think is like one of the biggest cons in the idea of Joe Hendry being signed to WWE. And I think the only way that could take place is if he ended up jump shipping directly to the main roster, which honestly, the idea sounds crazy. But again, if he did jump ship over to the main roster, just go straight into Raw or SmackDown, that's what's gonna end up happening, you know? And it's like with with oh my god, with the I can't think of his name. I cannot think of his name. Not Shinsuke, but with Finn Balor and JD McDonough, the world tag team champions. They, it's like they're the champions, but they're they have more of a supporting role within the Judgment Day, and I think that's what's starting to piss the fans off, is the fact that the tag team titles were supposed to have been defended with a lot of prestige, and apparently now that Balor and McDonough have those titles, what do you do? What do you do? And apparently WWE no longer wants those tag team titles in PLEs, which honestly I find that a bit too haste, if you will, a bit too. I would say offensive, but I think, yeah. You know what? Let's go with that. It's a bit offensive to those who love tag team wrestling in WWE. It's a slap in their face. And so Balor and McDonough, they're lost in the shuffle. They don't know what the fuck to do. But again, going back with Joe Hendry, it's possible. It's possible that he could sign with WWE, but if he did get signed, he would most likely end up having to stay in NXT for the long run, and then when he's reached like mega stardom and he's like ready for that next big step, then maybe put him in the main roster. But it comes down to how he would be utilized on the main roster. Similar, the way that he would be used in NXT. Because right now, his time in TNA, I believe, if I can find it, let's see. I believe Joe Hendry's contract is set to expire sometime in the next year. I believe. I'm not entirely sure. Um yeah, I think his contract. I think he extended his contract to another for another year, I believe, and apparently he's not going to be. He won't be signed. Apparently, supposedly he won't be signed to WWE for quite some time. So there's still a lot of time to think about how Joe Hendry could be used on NXT in WWE. But right now, I think when it comes to NXT, I think his first massive feud is definitely going to be Gallus, because apparently rumor has it that tomorrow night at the Great American Bash, apparently Gallus is going to inject themselves into the Joe Hendry concert, and they're gonna stop it in its tracks. So we'll see. We will see. But I think all in all, I think the idea of Joe Hendry's being signed to WWE would be pretty cool. Just because of the fact that he's one of those guys that you can't really hate the guy, you know. And to be fair, I heard a lot about Joe Hendry, and after his match, his tag team match with Trick Williams against Spears and Page, I mean, he's pretty good. He has talent. He has talent, but I think after his loss at Slammiversary, from what I had seen on social media, apparently I think his time in TNA is coming to an end, and I think it's time for him to get signed to NXT. But let me know your thoughts on this whole thing. Post in the comments below your honest opinion about this. I want to hear from you guys. But that'll do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all my social media. All my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.